Welcome back to Pussy's the podcast about women, for women, by men,
who support
women. Today we have a special guest, my partner's best friend's partner, Michael, which makes us best friends, which is nice.
It is nice. Thank you. Hi, Michael. Thank you.
Let's jump right into, we're having a serious problem in our group, which is we have a mysterious ailment that's going around with the females. Been to the doctor. Why don't you tell them about what behavior you're seeing? Because both of our partners, Stacy as well as Meghan, are having the same issue.
Yeah, and thank you again, Michael, because this has really got us besides ourselves. We don't know what's going on. I mean, it comes like clockwork, and it has honestly, we're baffled because, I guess really the only thing that we know for sure at this point is it's definitely not her period.
Stacy mentioned that as well. She'll scream it, and we listen to women here, and it is for sure not her menses. We actually went to a female doctor, and I was surprised we were both surprised to find out that she was suggested it was her menses, which when women don't believe other women, it really takes me aback. I don't know about you, Michael.
I'm going to have to back you up on that because I find it the internalized misogyny, and that's the only word I could use for it.
It's sort of, I keep interrupting. I feel like that's very toxic, masculine energy that I'm throwing at you. I want to apologize for that real quick.
I acknowledge your apology, and I would ask you that you do better.
I thank you for acknowledging and pointing this out to me, and I will do better.
And I ask that if I am in any way aggressive or violent in my language, that you hold me accountable as well.
I, Michael, pledge to check my toxic male outbursts.
I, Michael, pledge to check my toxic male outbursts.
To listen before. To listen first, and
to
then,
first listen and then
learn.
And then do better.
To listen, learn, do better,
and to stop erasing. As you know, I do work over at the Do Better Project to help men do better.
We should actually put up a little link for people to donate there. They can volunteer. You need more male volunteers, I think.
We need a lot more male volunteers. Yeah. We need good men to listen to women's stories.
And by
we have a story group.
You mean good men that are more like women?
All men think they're good, but they're not good.
They're not good.
It's still something to aspire.
I'm
sorry.
I'm sorry.
I apologize.
I spoke and you were speaking.
Are you gonna? Oh, sorry.
I'm not sure who should go now. I'm gonna say that Hannah Gatsby's special should be mandatory viewing for schools.
And we just need to all stop laughing as a nation, I think.
You made a great point about how she wants to take down the patriarchy, and her sort of protest is to dress as though she shops at a store called Patriarchy. Isn't that what you said?
Is that Hannah Gatsby or my partner Meghan?
Gatsby. Well, both, really.
It's a clever form of reclaiming, to dress like a middle-aged man that does like tech support.
Yeah, getting back to this mysterious illness that both our partners are experiencing, and I want to know if you find this, but Stacy's senses are acutely heightened. For example, I was eating in a different room, and she screamed, "Can you stop those mouth noises?"
I noticed the exact same thing. Mm-hmm. My partner Meghan can literally hear my dreams. I don't even remember them, but she knows what I've been thinking about in my sleep, and she tells me word for word, and she's upset, and all I can do is apologize because, doing better is a full-time job for a guy like me.
Stacy actually had a dream where I was acting out in a very masculine way, and she was furious at me the next morning, and I was confused because I didn't know what her dream was, but I did apologize.
Yeah, it's not so hard to just apologize. I think a lot of men are a little, frankly, too fragile to say, hey, it's my fault, the thing that you said to me that is hurting me, and I need to do better.
I wish more people could hear that message.
Well, I hope a lot of people hear this because, we're stumped. We've been to I think we went through our seventh doctor trying to
Yeah.
suss this thing out. And I'll tell you what, maybe we should have gone to more women doctors, but it didn't sound like you had a lot of luck. And
No,
this
we
last
didn't.
one, I mean, and all of them steeped in the patriarchy to the point where they just have to it's like a cult where they have to say, oh, it's probably your menses.
Yeah, your period.
And I'm like, wow, this is in 2020 the best we can do in medicine. That when my partner,
Shocking.
it's really crabby and bloaty, once a month, we automatically, that's menses. That's where we're at with medicine.
Right. To think of all the diseases that we are not investigating because we're assuming it's women on their period being bitches is just disgusting. Another.
Well,
Another.
oh my God, I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry. Did you? I'm gonna go, but
The
I'm
doctor
sorry, I'm
was
going.
violent.
What'd he do? She.
It's
He. I don't want to assume.
well,
it's a
he
man.
didn't. I'm saying they didn't identify, but what they did do, this doctor, was, we told doctor, don't say menses, don't say period, don't say men. We already know what it's not, so we don't need that. We're coming to you to find out what it is.
Right.
I'm sorry to get heated up. And the doctor, he kind of smiled like a real smug, oh, the patriarchy gave me a medical degree smile. And he goes, why don't you try take.
I'm sorry. Finish.
Well,
I just wanted you to take down the.
what I'm going to say is, you know what?
You're being a little bit masculine right now in a way that feels toxic as you're telling the story.
I am, and I apologize. Thank you for holding me accountable.
You're welcome.
I should also trigger to the audience anybody who might be triggered by this, because what the doctor said is appalling, and it makes me triggered, and I apologize. He kind of smiled, and he said, "Have you tried taking a Midol?" And I just froze, like I didn't.
I would have started crying if I heard that.
And I turned to Meghan and I said, you know what, doctor, let's get out of here because they can't help us. And the doctor who prescribed the Midol was confused because, I also refer to Meghan as doctor in place of honey or baby.
He assumed all
so he assumed I'm
talking.
talking. Yeah, all doctors are men and all doctors go to school.
There's another element to this disease. I'll just call it, it's a mysterious virus. Let's just call it. We don't know if it's a virus or not, but whatever it is. Our partners, we went on a trip together. Now, they both had similar symptoms, but they weren't at the same time. And then after this trip, it seemed like they both were having the symptoms at the same time after that. Like they synced up. And that you think would be a clue for doctors. But
we're talking about what's probably an epidemic.
I'm sorry, my dog is being very masculine right now. She's barking. I don't think my dog identifies as we got a female dog on purpose, not knowing it identified male.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
No, it's not. We wanted a female for a reason.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that because I mean, after seeing that what you called a sync up happen, now I know it's not in my head and it's not in Megan's head, and this is a possible pandemic.
Women aren't crazy.
And you know what? This is Megan's fairly sure that my mother gave my sister epilepsy. So if that's possible, then certainly this is transferable.
Well, it's funny they can cure, male, erectile dysfunction, but when a woman is unable to control her emotions every 3 weeks or so, she's suddenly on her period.
And why should a woman ever control any aspect of her emotions? That's what I find offensive. And I'm sorry to raise my voice.
We're going to turn your volume down just a little, just a touch, and I don't mean.
Thank you. I wish that you would.
I'm just going to get this down.
Thanks a lot.
We did get. I'm bringing some live tweets, and someone was a little bit offended by your beard, feeling you were pushing masculinity in their face. I want you to respond to that because they do have a point.
Oh, I hear you, and I acknowledge your tweet, and I appreciate it. My partner Meghan has asked. I don't personally prefer this. But Meghan said I look like too much of a boy / woman without it, and she doesn't find that attractive. And I don't, I don't want to say, hey, what's wrong with looking like a very, very feminine, almost female man, because I don't think she means it that way. And I know that she's got that illness right now, so I don't want to stress her.
I find it helpful to put Stacy's mysterious illness on a calendar. You could almost,
Yes.
it's almost like clockwork. I know it's coming.
At the Do Better Project, we actually have for men a resource. If you have a partner who's suffering from this, and I don't know if it only affects women yet. So far, that's all I've seen, but it could affect. But we have a special calendar, and you can mark in the times of the month where you want to be careful about your aggression.
It's so dangerous to assume it's their period. Can we talk about that? How that assumption is so offensive. Stacey has been so clear that it's not her period, and you should listen to women. I think if we've learned anything,
it's like, and I'm sorry to quote a white male protagonist, but Sherlock Holmes once said, "Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever's left, no matter how improbable, is the truth." So we've eliminated that it's menses. We've eliminated that.
Let's move on from that.
So whatever's improbable. My mother gave my sister epilepsy, and that gave Meghan this illness. Improbable, but that's the truth.
And I'm in a closet eating a chicken parm sandwich. That's on me if I'm making too much noise. It's not what is happening in her mind. She can't control. So it's now what we can control is how loud I'm chewing. I mean, to me, that's obvious. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you can control yourself. That's all you can do as a man. And I don't think it's too much to ask to be considerate with your chewing. Maybe there's a deeper part of the closet. Maybe you have a basement. Maybe you could just go outside. There's no neat reason you need to eat in your home. That's not. I know the patriarchy tells you that, but I'm sorry, I'm getting aggressive.
Let me just. Why do you think it is that we have trouble listening? Do you have any thoughts on that? Because I think it's important we examine ourselves.
Sometimes I wonder if I was born bad. I know, all I know is it's my job to do better. I try not to dwell on the bad things I can't change about myself, which is my gender. Well, I guess you can change gender, but my sex at birth, and I can't change my skin color, and Lord knows I'd like to, but that would be appropriation.
Yes.
So I just try to focus on making myself as small as possible. And I just try to just never assert myself on any level to anyone.
Some self-talk is also, I find, helpful, just to keep that, remember to feel shame, remember that you're bad. That kind of thing really helps.
Well, another great thing we did, Meghan and I went to...
Michael, I'm sorry to do this again. You're getting very, very masculine, and a lot of energy is coming up. I know you, and I know you not to be like this, but you were almost screaming at me there.
Oh, I apologize. I might have my mic gain up a little bit too high.
You also are using sort of powerful arms, I call them.
Oh,
I'll bring it into my. Have power.
I'm sorry. I've been working on my Tyrannosaurus arms.
Great.
I call them Tyrannosaurus arms just for fun, and
I don't know if we should make a joke about it, but
it's no joke. Those are the arms. Those are the proper arms. By the way, when you come down next time you're down at the Do Better Foundation, we've been doing these great courses, which is because I need a lot of work. It's a lot of, but they're demasculinizing courses. Because it's toxic.
It takes a long time. It takes a long time to unlearn what we learned and what we were born with, the disease of masculinity. We're going to do some business real quick. Today's podcast is sponsored by Millie's Partner Bread, the only bread made with real yeast from a real strong woman. Millie's Partner Bread. Have you tried Millie's?
We were eating Julia's Partner Bread, which is a competitor. It's hard to switch, but I understand Millie is a very strong woman who's not afraid to speak her mind, and I would love to taste her bread.
It's just been a wonderful time in herstory for us to learn about what we're doing wrong, how we were born wrong.
I meant to do a land acknowledgement at the top of the show, and I'd like to do that. Real quick, I would like to acknowledge that the land on which I am podcasting is the unceded territory of the Yaqui people of California, and this was their land.
Where should men be? I know you think we should be more small.
Yeah, I think there just needs to be less of us, and I don't, I'm not trying to prescribe a way to get that done. I just know that's the goal, and we should be moving towards it. And we just need, I think it was a great Gloria Steinem who said, okay, fine, you have the feminism to raise your girls as young boys, but do you have the courage to raise your boys as young girls?
Wow.
And
That's
and it's
profound.
powerful. And I think when I think of my childhood, my mother and father never put me in a dress. They never, they bought me He-Mans and they didn't buy me Barbies. And I said I wanted boy toys, but look out for me. I'm a child.
You're a child, right? I had a very different upbringing. My sister wanted another sister, and I came out and I was a boy, but she would, luckily for me, dress me up as her sister and call me Michaela. And I was Michaela, and I would be Michaela for weeks at a time. And it really made me realize what it was like. Of course, I can't know. But as a child, I was given the toys of a woman, and I'm very thankful for it.
I'm sorry, and I don't wish to. Please don't take this the wrong way, but what do a girl's toys look like, Michael?
I'm ashamed that I even said that, because that's a great example of my assumptions, my ridiculous assumptions that women would have a specific type of toy. Of course, it's not a woman's toy. I was speaking from the patriarchy concept of a woman's toy. Of course, a girl should play with whatever toy she wants.
Well, I appreciate that, and I don't feel entirely safe yet, but that went a long way, what you just said.
Let me apologize again. I'd like to take this out of the podcast, what I had said, but I don't think I'm going to. I don't think I think it should be out there.
No, it should be out there. People should know. Don't try to cover it up now, because it happened and there's no going back, and that's what it is. All you can do is do better. Do better.
There will be backlash, and I welcome
well deserved.
Backlash. Well deserved, and thank you.
You're welcome.
For checking me.
We need more female anger is what I think. You just don't see enough. I'd like to see women really, cut loose a little bit. Really emote on social media and don't hold back. Don't get, I don't know what I'm talking about. That's just patriarchy talking. If you don't look in the mirror every day as a woman and say, every part of me is perfect and always has been, and there's nothing wrong with me ever, and if something happens, it's not my fault, it's someone else's. If you don't say that every day to yourself, then guess who wins? The patriarchy.
Exactly. And if you censor yourself at all, just keep typing and texting and sending. That's what I encourage women to do, especially with Twitter. Don't stop to think.
It's not a woman's job to express in clear language what she wants or how she feels. It's your job.
I wish I was as woke as you, not to use a word that I think a man came up with, but I was with Meghan. We were in the bedroom. She likes to explore my body. It's part of the... I've spoken about this with Meghan, your wife.
Oh, yes, of course. I'm sorry. Can I just ask, did she happen, while you guys were making love, did she happen to mention why she hit me in the back of the head with a shovel, or I don't want to, it's none of my business, but.
I thought of asking her, but I didn't want to insult her. It's not her job to tell me what you did wrong.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, I hear you, Michael. I remember one, it might have been Valentine's Day, or it could have been Thanksgiving, because, I think it was Thanksgiving, because my parents were over, and we had made this nice, it was a tofurkey we had picked up from the vegan place, the one we go to? That's where we get we used to get the other partner bread. And I remember Meghan said to my parents, "You're both a couple of dumb pigs, and your son's a loser.
Yeah.
And this is what he's good for." And she just cleared the whole spread off the table and literally by my neck picked me up. She's very strong.
Yes.
She slammed me on top of the table, and she made me take out my genitals, and she began stroking and I would say using me for pleasure. And she said to both my parents, "You sit there and you watch this, and you watch what I do to your boy."
As a man, we can't listen to our gut. That's important, because when your wife came at me and stuck her fingers down my throat, my gut lied to me and said this is wrong. And so that's
Sounds
why
like Meghan. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
If I hadn't been in and out of consciousness in a squash garden, I would have said, oh, "That's my Meghan."
But
Not
that's
mine.
why
Excuse me. I apologize. She doesn't belong to me, and I'm sorry to everybody listening, and I'm really trying to do better. I apologize.
Well said. Well, Michael, thank you so much for being
thank you.
here. Yeah. No,
Sorry, do the ending. I'm sorry. Please check out dobetter.org. There's a
Millie's
checklist.
Partner Bread.
And I'm going to try out Millie's Partner Bread. I'm really looking forward to it. And I got some squash on the way.
Fantastic. I can't wait to taste that. Thank you to our sponsor, Millie's Partner Bread. Partner Bread made with real yeast from a real strong woman, Millie's Partner Bread. All right, Michael, thanks for being here. That was so enlightening.
Thank you so much.
To watch a bonus episode on Patreon, and I apologize again for mansplaining here, but there is a link in the description below. We do a pussy review of A Few Good Men, the film A Few Good Men. Spoiler alert, there aren't any, but we recreate some of the scenes and make them a little better, in my opinion. Thank you.